And there was just one photo that really kind of like circled around the internet. Jared Curtis in a Vanderbilt long coat jacket. And
Yeah.
so that was actually your jacket, correct?
Yeah, correct. That's it. That's actually a funny story. And this jacket has gained a second life. It's taken on a whole new thing. And good for the jacket. If it had a personality, that's what I would say. But here's how it happened. So that jacket is mine. I played at Vanderbilt, like you said, in the early '90s. So I was there. 90 through 93 were my playing years, and then at the end of the season, that jacket was a sideline jacket, and people don't have those these days because they're heated benches, and on the sidelines back in those days, you had those sideline jackets, and some places still utilize them. I was watching the Chiefs game. It's so cold in Kansas City, they still use those things, but it's a waterproof rain jacket. It's got the fleece, quilted lining in it, and the heavy, the wide shoulder, so you can get it over your shoulder pads. Just an old school sideline jacket. And I had it then in 1993 as I walked away, and had it with me, and didn't think about it again until last December. And so December of 2024, we're getting ready to go play in state championship game, and it's going to be cold in Chattanooga. I mean, like crazy cold. And the wind's supposed to be blowing and everything. And I just didn't want my quarterback to be cold, keep your arm warm, stay loose on the sideline. I don't want you over there shivering. And what he had done in the playoff games leading up was just take somebody else's regular jacket, and you try to stuff your arms in a regular jacket with shoulder pads on, you can't do it. I was like, man, this is crazy. So going into the state game, I said, buddy, look, I've got an old sideline jacket. It's warm. If you want to do that, I'll bring it. He's like, how kids are. All right, bet. And I said, well, here's the problem. It's black and yellow, and it says Vanderbilt on the back of it, and it's got my number on the front. So it might drive people absolutely over the edge if you wear this thing, because it's time, you're still committed to Georgia. And that was the thought the whole way, like it'll keep you warm, but it's liable to cause a stir. And he said, I don't care. I just want to be warm. So I said, okay, well, we'll take it. So last year, 2024, we took it. Somebody snapped a picture of him in it, put it on the internet. Ha ha, funny, funny. Lo and behold, we come back around this year, the state championship game, and now is the whole flip and the commit and the signing and all that kind of stuff. And I actually thought I'd left that jacket in Chattanooga last year. We thought we left it on the sideline because we got to hustle off the sidelines after the game, because there's a game after ours. And I couldn't find it. I thought, man, I think I left that dang jacket in Chattanooga. Oh, well, it had a second life. Good for it, And then I found it in the game trunk about 3 months later. And so Jared came to me this year and said, Coach, with a big smile on his face, he said, you still got that jacket? I said, well, I do. And he said, do you mind taking it? I said, yeah, no problem. And so this year had a whole new meaning. So now he's wearing it proud up and down the sideline. He's prancing around. As soon as he comes off field, he wants to put it on. And that jacket, Jared said a great thing after they wrote the article. When they were writing the article, he said, we don't take it to practice. We don't take it to any other game but the state championship game. So it's not about me. It's about the state championship. And I can't wait to come back next year and watch Tate Mathis, who's our sophomore quarterback and the incumbent. I can't wait to watch him wear it at the state championship game. So that's really what it's become.